Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Koli.
Welcome to the SVU Coven podcast, Little Witch Detectives.
Hi.
Hi, we made it. We're here.
Yay.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm still sniffling like it was
Yeah.
last time we recorded.
Ah, yes, the sniffles.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's allergies.
yeah, I feel like the allergies have been worse this
Yeah.
season. I don't know why, but all right. Shall we jump into things?
Yes.
Okay, so. This is our witch talk. The corner. It's the corner of the intro of our show where we catch you guys up on what we've been doing. We always laugh because it's a little redundant for us because we talk all the time, but it's a cool way to catch up with you guys. So much has been going on with me. It's like terrible. I went to the 21 Pilots concert,
Hmm.
which was amazing. It's my fourth or fifth time seeing them, so nothing was like a surprise, but it was a wonderful time. However, I got COVID at the concert, I'm pretty sure. Just because I was around thousands of people,
Yeah.
uh, like in an arena. And even though we had pretty good socially distanced seats, because the person next to me never showed up, so we had like a space in between. And then the people next to my boyfriend left early, so he had a whole row next to him. So we were pretty like well distanced,
Hmm.
but still got COVID, so I tested positive for COVID, and spent the last week just dying, really.
Yeah.
Um, I have never had COVID before this, prior to now, that I know of. And so it was my first like experience with it. And I'm also immunocompromised, so it just was like kind of a stressful week. Um, and it was the first week since my boyfriend and I have lived together that we were like stuck in the apartment every single day, all day, every day for a week.
Yeah.
Because we just moved in together, but it actually went okay. Like we're fine. Everything was good.
That's good.
Um, yeah, and then we we both tested negative, so he's back at work, and we celebrated by going apple picking. Because I really wanted to go apple picking, but the stupid part about doing like fall activities in the South is that it's still 100 degrees. So like
Yeah.
I was out there apple picking, looking like my best fall self. I can show you guys a picture because the pictures look like it's fall and the leaves are falling and everything's like cool and happy. But then in real life, I was like dripping sweat and like like
Yeah.
trying to walk to pick the freaking apples. Um but it was really fun and I'm glad we went. So we did that yesterday. Um, then what do I have coming up? We are almost to October, which is my favorite month of the year.
Yeah.
I do I do love Halloween, and so I've got a lot of like Halloween stuff coming up here soon. Um, oh my gosh. Fun thing we're doing. My friend Sabrina and I are going to see Practical Magic in theaters
Nice.
for Halloween because we did this last year too, but there's like a really old theater in Atlanta that was one of the first theaters built here that's still up and running, but most of the stuff that they do is volunteer, so it's a
Hmm.
pretty cool organization to like support. And they're the ones that do Rocky Horror that I go to.
Nice.
So, they do a practical magic one, or they did one last year and they're doing it this year where everybody dresses up and we all like yell at the screen the whole time they're playing the movie. And it's really cute. And so we're gonna dress up as the Owen sisters and go do that for
That'll be
Halloween.
fun.
I know, I'm so excited. So, yeah. Um, Also still looking for a job. So if anyone would like to help manifest that,
Yes.
putting that out there. But that's everything with me. What's
Yay.
going on with you?
I had my endoscopy. It is
Mhm.
confirmed that I don't have celiac. I found out last week. I called them and I was like, listen, I need to know if I have this or not. And they're like,
Mhm.
didn't you see Dr. Ndike's comments on my chart? And I was like, yes, but with the blood work, I don't know what that means.
Mhm.
And they were like, oh, well, you know, we're basically going to put you on a PPI trial, which
Mhm.
is a protein push inhibitor. So they put me on Protonix. Um, and that's pretty much to help with GERD and prevent ulcers.
Mhm.
So it's in the same category of drugs as Nexium and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't have celiac disease, which is
which is good.
good because that would have been really hard to live with.
Yeah.
Um, I had my arms procedure. I'm waiting for the results of that.
Mhm.
I've been going to physical therapy a lot. Um, yeah, but exciting news, exciting things coming up. Saturday is my day pass for Lespalooza.
Yay!
So I'm gonna be in the woods with 300 plus sapphic women and non-binary people.
Mhm.
Um, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh.
And I'm kind of bummed that I don't get to go for the whole time this year. But part of me is also kind of excited that I'm only going on the day pass because I don't have a cabin to hide away in.
Yeah.
So I'll get to be out and like do more stuff with people.
Mhm.
So I think it'll be good for me.
I also find too with like festivals, as I'm getting older, I much prefer just doing one day.
Hmm.
Because you can soak in all the fun in that one day and then you can just go home and crash. Um,
Well, my favorite part of the festival is on Sunday,
oh,
and I don't get to be there for that. It's the drag brunch.
oh yeah.
And we have a whole bunch of drag kings come and do performances,
Hmm.
and we have brunch, and then we take pictures, and then everybody goes and packs up and goes home.
Yeah, I get you. I
Yeah.
still think it'll be fun though.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be a blast.
Yeah.
Um, and that
Um,
came up quick.
yeah. Um, Time flies.
I know. Like we blinked and it was September.
Um, and then October 7th, I have my next infusion.
Oh yeah.
So at least I hope I still have my next infusion. I'm gonna call the doctor's office today and make sure I still have it.
And confirm.
Because they ordered blood work for me and I got it done and the results came in. And I don't know if Dr. Tremblay has had the chance to look at my blood work yet,
Mm,
but if he has, they'll be able to tell me one way or another if I'm having the infusion on October 7th, which I
gotcha.
hope I
Makes sense.
am because I don't want to have to start all this over again. I don't know if I would have to, but I don't want to go through the
Yeah.
two infusions in 2 weeks. And yeah,
Yeah, I get you. Oh, well, that came up quick too, actually.
yeah,
Hmm. Um, well, hopefully
yes,
you still have
fingers
your infusion.
crossed.
Hmm. Sorry.
Um, we had my grandmother's outing a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
On the 14th, we had the outing for my grandmother, and my family from Pennsylvania came in, or part of my family from Pennsylvania came in.
Hmm.
Um, it was a good day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Um, all right, what was that?
That's it.
Everything?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So let's move into our SVU slash Mariska corner.
Mm,
Um, as was the case last time we recorded, there's not much Mariska news. Um, just 'cause she's busy filming and whatnot.
yeah.
Um, there's some SVU adjacent news. Um, OC is currently filming episode 4,
Hmm.
and that's pissed some of the Krishka stands off because it's like, oh, they already filmed episode 2 and we didn't get any pictures. It's like they may not have filmed episode 2 yet because
Right.
sometimes TV shows film out of order.
Almost always, I would
Yeah.
say. Um, I don't know. Also, the shipping's been getting a little out of hand lately.
Yeah.
Not that it's not always, but I've been seeing a lot more of it recently.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know. I think it's one thing to ship the characters, it's another thing to ship the actors.
Yeah. Especially when they're both in happy marriages
Right, with
with
kids.
different people and with kids.
Hmm. Um, so I've been seeing a lot of that, and here at SVU Coven, we are not about it.
No.
Listen to our episode called The Maloney of It All if you
Yes.
would like to learn more.
About our stance on Chris Maloney and yeah,
All of that.
all of that.
Um, is there anything else going on aside from
I
uh,
don't think so.
I don't think so either. We come back really soon.
Yes, we come back October 3rd, which
Mhm.
when this comes out, it'll be September 30th. So it'll be coming out on Thursday when this comes out.
Woo, Thursday. Wow.
Um, so I'm really excited for it.
Hmm.
It's like two wonderful things happening back to back. Lesapalooza and then SVU comes back.
And on the best month of the year,
Yes.
um, super fun.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Well, is that everything SVU
Yes.
for now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, quick little astrology update. We are in Virgo season. Woo! We have finally entered it. We're in the thick of it. Also, we just had a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. So basically everything now is kind of gonna feel like we're rushing towards whatever goal or manifestation you were working towards before the eclipse.
Mhm.
Because eclipses kind of get rid of whatever's not needed and then launch you kind of I think of it like a rubber band. So like the eclipse when it's building, you're pulling the rubber band back and then after it's over it snaps and then you're flung forward to whatever direction you need to go.
Yeah.
Um, so I actually like eclipses usually because afterwards I feel like rejuvenated. I'm like, yes, let's go, working towards the thing. Some people find eclipses to be more intimidating or scary because, change is scary and they usually accelerate change.
Mhm.
Uh, so if you're noticing some rapid changes in your life, just never, never fear. Everything is working out best case scenario. Um,
Yes.
so yes, in the thick of Virgo season and in an eclipse season, but I think it's all going to be for our highest good and we'll probably be more productive during this time. So, um, as the energy could feel a little bit heavier or you're experiencing change and that can be a little intimidating, um, just remember there are some positive aspects of it too. And we're all moving forward towards where we're meant to be.
Yay.
Um, but yeah, I think there's no major updates or changes since last time.
Okay. Um, so Friday, the 20th,
Mhm.
was officially 25 years since SVU premiered.
That's so crazy.
Yes.
25 years since we met Olivia Benson.
Can you believe?
No, I feel old, but also um it's been really cute seeing everybody posting about the anniversary and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always cute, but 25 is a big number, I feel.
25 is a big number. It's a
So,
good number.
mm-hmm. Um, and I saw something the other day. If I can find it, I'll post it on our Instagram, but it was like remembering Munch during this time, like a Richard Belzer tribute for the
Yeah.
anniversary, and it made me really happy.
Yeah.
Um, so pretty cute stuff. Um, it's cute that they're gonna like they're coming back shortly after the anniversary.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
Um,
weird because this year Grey's Anatomy is coming back before SVU, which never happens.
mm-hmm.
So it's weird.
Yeah, it does kind of feel out of order.
Yeah.
But yay, happy SVU anniversary.
Yay, SVU.
25 years. That's
Yes.
crazy. Um, all right, well, really quickly before we jump into some reminders, I just wanted to I was trying to think of things to put in the intro, and something that just dawned on me is if you guys are not registered to vote and you are planning on voting this year, make sure you go ahead and get that done. Because we are almost at October, and that means we're almost at November, which means
At
it's
election
almost
day.
time. I know. It's almost time for a presidential election.
Um, Also
Oh.
keep in mind when your state's deadline to register to vote is, and also
Mhm.
check your registration. So even
Yes.
if you think you're registered to vote, check your registration because they may have purged you from the rolls
Hmm.
for whatever reason, because that always happens. Um, so
Especially
yeah.
if you are in a state where there's been issues with voter registration, I
Mm,
would double check, such as Georgia.
yeah.
Always good to double check. Also, there's ways to vote if you are not physically able to go in, and resources for that as well, like mail-in ballots and things like that. So, don't feel like you can't register,
Yeah.
or can't vote if you are interested.
I always register. I always vote by mail. There we
Yeah.
go.
I like to go in and I get really excited and then I get my little sticker. I literally like last night looked over at my boyfriend and I was like, I can't wait to go vote. It makes me so happy. I don't know why. It's so fun. Anyways.
I've never gotten a sticker when I've gone to vote in person.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm
smart.
like, meh, I'll vote by mail. I'm
Yeah.
not missing out
I
on a sticker.
I I like going here because I live in like a small city.
Hmm.
So like I go downtown and I stand in line and I get my little coffee and I just like chill in my line and like talk to the locals and stuff and I like make a day of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my cute little girl day. I'm gonna go vote.
Well, it's
And then
hard for me now to go down to my polling place, which is literally down the street, to go
yeah,
vote because one, I'm not driving, and two, it's hard for me to stand for that long and stand in line.
yeah, it's a
So it's
long
just
line.
easier to vote by mail.
And I love that we have that option. So,
Yeah.
um, But yeah, and then on our Instagram, which this is a good segue, I suppose, but on our Instagram, I will post some voting resources when this episode goes live.
Yes.
Most likely on our story, and or put I'll put a link in our bio, but for sure on our Instagram story. So if you're not following us already, follow us at on Instagram at SVU Coven. We post there most frequently whenever we have updates, new episodes, things like that. It's a great place to reach us. And we also have a free Discord server you can join. So while you're over on Instagram giving us a follow, you can click the link in our bio and join our free Discord server. I really want to grow it over there so we can start doing some cool, like, coven events, but I'm not sure how to grow a Discord server. I thought it would be easier. So if you guys would join, I would really, really appreciate it. And I will personally give you a free tarot reading if you join, and just, prove to me that you joined or however you want
Yeah.
to do that. Also, we have our email address if you are interested in being on the show or have questions for us or anything business related. Email is the best place to reach us. That's svucoven@gmail.com. Koli does check the email, so someone will be reading and responding, and she shares them with me also, so we see everything. And we love getting emails from you guys, even if it's just to say hello. So feel free to reach out there. Um, Lastly, we have merch through Fourth Wall. The proceeds go to Fourth Wall as well as to us, and we put it back into the show. If you
Yes.
happen to buy any of our merch, we designed it ourselves. We love it and we're super proud of it. So please send us photos of you with the merch, or tag us on Instagram and we will repost it. We would love to see that. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah.
This is your episodic reminder to rate, review, subscribe, like, and comment. All of the above are important for the different algorithms. Rating, reviewing, and subscribing are important for audio only platforms. They tell the algorithm that you like us and they will recommend us to other people. Um, you can leave reviews on individual episodes on Apple Podcasts. So that's always a good thing to do. I'm not sure about Spotify, but you can leave comments on individual episodes. So I guess it's kind of like leaving a review.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Subscribing, liking, and commenting are the most important things you can do on YouTube. Again, they will tell you the algorithm that you like us and will promote us to other people. Um, the more people that watch and like and comment, all of it is engagement. The more you engage with a video on YouTube, the more it gets pushed up in the algorithm and the more people will find it.
Yeah.
And we also have a coffee, so you can go and donate however much money you want. It's not mandatory, it is totally voluntary, and we put all that money back into the show, and we appreciate the energy exchange on all of it. Yay!
Okay. Shall we get into our self-love affirmation?
Yes.
Woo! Okay, so this one is one I have been using recently in my manifestation practices, and it's kind of an open-ended one. So, this one is one I would encourage you to also write down and maybe even journal and reflect on it. So it's I give myself permission to blank. You giving yourself permission to do the thing you want to do or invite in the things that you want to invite in. So, for example, mine is I give myself permission to accept my dream job. I think naturally a lot of us, especially with social media and stuff, especially suffer from imposter syndrome and some variations of it.
Mhm.
Uh, and I keep having in my job search and unemployment journey I'm on a lot of self-doubt and like self-esteem issues, and this manifestation kind of has allowed me to almost like give the permission away to someone else to deal with, if that makes sense. It's almost like I'm releasing it into the world because
Yeah.
I said I give myself permission to accept my dream job. And so I know that if I'm doing the work, the job is going to manifest into my life. Um, I think also I was really scared to say I'm worthy of my dream job.
Yeah.
Um, and so this way kind of allows me to manifest in a way that's more comfortable to me. So if you guys are trying to invite something like a new job or a new partner or something like that in your life, this is great for that. You can even use it like I give myself permission to relax, permission to rest, permission to take care of myself. It can be anything because you deserve all of it. Um, so I highly recommend taking some deep breaths and closing your eyes unless you're operating heavy machinery and reflecting on the what that means to you and how you can invite in the things that you want into your life. Um, and yeah, I wrote it down on my journal app on my phone and like so I can go back and refer to it throughout the day or even change it if I have a different goal I want to change it to.
Yeah, that's a good
But
idea.
yeah. Um, so I guess should we get into the episode?
Yes.
Okay. I just realized I didn't put a spell break in there, so I just went and threw one in.
Okay.
Okay. So, why? I have to make my screen bigger. Okay, here we go. So, season 3, episode 20 of Law and Order SVU, Greed. This episode is so like first of all, the cast is phenomenal, but
Yeah.
like there's just so much going on in this episode.
It is one of my favorite episodes too.
It's so good
It's so good.
with the Winkler. Okay. Um, let's just jump right in. So, we open up on two men arriving home into a beautiful mansion is what I put, just a stunning huge home. Uh, the lights are off, and one man thinks it's odd because his wife, Jess, not only doesn't seem to be there, but the lights are off, and it's just kind of not what they expected. He walks into the bathroom and then finds his wife on the bathroom floor covered in blood. Uh, Elliot and Olivia respond to the crime scene. There was no sign of forced entry, and the alarm wasn't off. There's a panic button in every room that they had just recently installed in their home. Um, the husband tells Elliot and Olivia that his wife never said anything, and she had a fractured skull, they found out. Um, Olivia asks the wife, whose name is Jess. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, Jessica. Olivia asks Jessica what happened, and she says, "Isn't the sunset beautiful?" Because it's just not coherent.
Yeah.
But I thought that was amusing. Um, and then we done
Dun dun.
out the gate. So we find out that Jessica is paralyzed on her right side now and cannot speak at the moment.
Can
The
I
door
just
was
say, this is absolutely terrifying. Like having gone through this last year,
hmm
it's absolutely terrifying. Not knowing if
yeah.
you're going to get your speech back.
hmm
It's terrifying.
And I think they don't like in the episode because so much is going on and they're like telling the story, they don't really go into her feelings enough, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, so at the moment she's unable to speak and paralyzed on the right half of her body.
hmm
Um at the home, the door was closed and their alarm was off when her husband came home, and the only other person that would have access uh keys to the house, alarm door codes and things like that is their maid, Katerina. Um and then he also says the husband, Mr. Todd says that There have been a string of break-ins in their neighborhood really recently, and he speculates it could be tied to that. Um, Back in the squad room, Munch confirms that the break-ins have been happening. None of them have been really violent, and Finn says it can't be the same guy. Munch and Finn tell Kragen they are going to talk to Katerina, but apparently Munch has jury duty, and he's very upset about it. And Kragen tells him he has to go because it's his civic duty. And so Kragen decides to fill in for Munch this episode. But I'm curious in real life what was going on with Bells, why he couldn't
They could have
be.
been just filming a tandem episode.
Yeah, that could make sense. Because I was like, why couldn't he be in it? I was like, I like
Or
it
it
with
could have been
Bells.
his week, or it could have been his week off because they each get 2 weeks off per season.
Yeah,
It could have been anything.
or he really had jury duty.
Yeah.
Um, Elliot and Olivia go to talk to the husband again. He says he's not originally from New York, he's from Seattle. He had lost his previous wife to cancer, and Jessica was very understanding, which attracted him to her. He says everyone he knows loves Jessica, and he notices as the police are there that her watch is gone from their nightstand. It's a Rolex worth about $35,000.
Can you imagine spending that much money on a watch
Yeah, and then wearing it.
and wearing it?
Oh,
I get
um,
so anxious wearing it. I would like,
I know. I don't think I'd be able to. I'd be
no.
like, nope, it's just gonna live over there.
Yeah.
Um, Munch and Finn go to talk to Katerina, the maid. Um, she tells them that Jessica's ex-husband drowned before they met. She says her boyfriend is a limo driver named Andre.
Do you mean Kragen and Finn?
Yes, I meant Kragen and Finn. I wrote Munch and Finn, but I meant
Yeah.
Kragen and Finn. Okay. Um, Kragen and Finn go to the company, Mr. Todd, or sorry, not Mr. Company Andre, the limo driver boyfriend, works at. And Andre wasn't at work last night. They go to talk to him, and he tries to drive away in one of the limos. And then it's really funny because I think it's Kragen. He goes, "It must have been something we said." And it was amusing to me. Um, Kragen interrogates Andre and accuses him of stealing Jessica's watch, and essaying her. He denies all of it. Finn gives him a last chance warning. He says he was with his girlfriend at the time. He tried to run because he is in America illegally. He had a student visa to get into the country and then never attended class. And the visa expired. Andre says Katerina heard Jessica fighting with her husband the day before the incident happened. Um, Elliot and Olivia go to talk to the husband about the argument. He's trying to open a new restaurant, which is kind of causing like stress and tension in their relationship just because he's really busy and has a lot on his plate, which is why they were arguing. The Elliot and Olivia ask for a DNA test, and at shortly thereafter, Mr. Todd gets a call that his wife is awake, so Jessica's awake in the hospital.
Restaurants are notoriously difficult to open, and they're
Mm-hmm.
one of the highest risk investments because a lot of them go under like within the
Yeah.
first couple years or something.
Mm-hmm. Elliot and Olivia and Mr. Todd go to the hospital. Jessica can't talk very much, but they've given her a dry erase board to write her thoughts on that she's not able to articulate. She doesn't remember much about what happened, but she says put on robe, saw Ed, heard key in door, which is why they thought or why she thought her husband was coming home. Um, There's no way to tell if a lock has been picked. Uh, a computer came up with a DNA match on Jessica from another break-in 2 nights ago. Elliot and Olivia go to talk to the couple about that particular break-in. The wife says her husband was out of town and she heard a noise. There was a man wearing a stocking standing above her. He had regular clothes on and gloves. When she started to scream, he put a gun to her head and said he would kill her if she didn't stop. He told her to take off her clothes and then he essayed her. He never said another word. Then he went out the front door. He in no way tried to hit her, and she never heard him actually come in the house. He stole a diamond bracelet from her that was worth $100,000. Just, these people with their
These
jewelry.
people with their jewelry, like, how do you go outside of the house wearing that?
I know. And they say that they also have new locks on their doors that lock automatically. And they had gotten them installed from a company called Park Safe and Security. Cragen and Finn go to that locksmith company and they find out that it's the same locksmith for both houses that installed the new door locks. His name's Ryan. He's currently out on a job, and Cragen and Finn go to talk to him. He says that he was studying at the library on the night the crime took place. He says there's no way he would have broken in, and he never went back. Finn says that the library guard doesn't remember Ryan checking in. His prints were found in Denise's bedroom, but he keeps denying that he did any of it. He said that Jessica wasn't there when he installed the locks at their home. He had asked for a glass of water. He says he didn't steal anything, essay anybody, or beat up anybody. He points out that he's in school to become a lawyer. Why would he do something that could potentially damage his career?
Yeah.
Um, Cragen tells Alex he has set up a lineup for the victims to identify uh, him, but Alex says to cut it because the victims never saw his face. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we spell break.
Okay, so this is coming out Monday, September 30th. The color of the day is white, and the incense of the day is lily. And this is called EVOO. Oh, yes.
I like that.
What better day to appreciate the versatility of olive oil than on National Extra Virgin Olive Oil Day? With a history that can be traced back over 5,000 years, olive oil not only is appreciated by chefs and culinary experts around the world, but also has a multitude of uses, from health and beauty to religious and spiritual appreciations. EVOO is my go-to for anointing, especially when working with folks who have allergies to strong scents and manufactured essential oils. Because I use it a lot in my cooking, it's always fresh and at the ready in my kitchen for whenever I need it. It's easy to infuse herbs into olive oil, whether you wish to add flavor or use the oil for non-culinary metaphysical purposes. Olive oil is also a primary tool in Italian folk practices for determining whether someone has had the evil eye, malacchio, I think that's how you say it, malak, I don't know, cast upon them. Water is placed in a dish and some olive oil is poured on top of it. If the oil stays separate, there's no curse. If it mixes with the water, then evil is afoot, and blessings must be done to remove the curse. And that is by Laura Tempest Zerkoff.
Hmm,
Zakroff.
interesting. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, Elliot and Olivia walk and talk outside of Ryan's house, and they couldn't find any evidence. They go to talk to his boss, and he says he believes Ryan to be a good kid. He gives them permission to search the work vehicle. Elliot finds Ryan's toolbox, and there are pantyhose inside and both the stolen jewelry items. Alex takes Ryan to court. He pleads not guilty on all charges. Alex requests no bail, and the judge puts bail at $500,000. Detectives had permission to search the vehicles, but it was from the wrong person. So the lawyers go back and forth on if it's okay for the detectives to have actually opened the toolbox, the evidence And the judge throws the evidence inside the toolbox out. Um,
And I think it's one of my favorite lines is a $5 lock from a grocery store or whatever would have solved the problem
mhm.
because um he didn't ha necessarily have the right to privacy by leaving his items unlocked in a shared van.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cragen said it best. He's like, we got screwed by legal maneuvering.
Hmm.
Um, as Elliot and Olivia, Alex, and Cragen are debating the case, the DNA comes back and they find out that it's not Ryan's. Alex plans to have Ryan in court by tomorrow morning. Finn and Cragen go to talk to Ryan in holding. Ryan says he minds his own business and isn't sure about anyone else he works with, as far as being suspicious. And then Ryan gives them audible permission for the toolbox. Uh, Back in the lab, fingerprints were found on the diamond bracelet, which had Mr. Todd's DNA on it. They think Denise, the wife who was SA'd, and Todd were in on it together. Um, Olivia tells Mr. Todd that Ryan's DNA wasn't a match. They ask him if he remembers touching Ryan's toolbox. He says he doesn't remember if Ryan was in other parts of the house, but he admitted he touched it when Ryan went to the bathroom. Elliot and Olivia go talk to like a bank person, I think, a financial person of
Okay.
theirs. Not quite sure. And he says he's surprised that Mr. Todd would want to open another restaurant to begin with because he doesn't think the restaurant would break even. He says that Mr. Todd should be spending his days playing golf with his money and enjoying his nice retirement. And this is when the detectives put together that the Mr. Todd they've been investigating is he stole the identity of the real Ed Todd, who is a retiree and doesn't even live in New York.
Yeah.
um, Cragen tells the squad they are checking for prints on the trucks. Elliot looked into everybody's bank accounts. Todd had paid first and last month rent for the restaurant and the space and the stuff there. He doesn't have all the money that he needs for the restaurant yet because Jessica hasn't sent it over, and Cragen gives orders from there. Elliot and Olivia go to talk to Jessica. She says she's given about $200,000 to her husband so far for the restaurant. Elliot tells her that Ed, her husband, is trying to steal her money. The checks for the vendors don't exist. Jessica at first doesn't believe them. And she tells them that when she dies, her husband is the sole beneficiary of her will. She says that it was all her idea and he gets everything. Um, and Elliot says, Mrs. Todd, your husband sent someone to kill you for your money. Um, Straight and to the point.
Yeah.
Cragen and Finn talk to some guys in the area where the crimes have been happening, and Cragen gives orders from there. They go to look through an apartment and find a boarding pass for Ed Todd. Elliot says Ed went to Canada but didn't get a hit on his prints because of that. Denise has sex with her husband, then plants the semen on Jessica, is basically how um, they tied that together.
Yeah.
Elliot and Olivia go to talk to Denise's husband. He says that they had had sex the afternoon before he left to go on his trip. The detectives think that she faked her essay. He doesn't believe it, but they have the DNA evidence. And then we find out that he actually paid $250,000 invested in Ed's restaurant. Um, Elliot and Olivia tell Alex and Cragen what they have found out. Todd's real name is Edward and Denise's real name is Denise. And then I forgot what her
Todd's real name is actually Edwin. It's Edwin Crandall.
yes,
And Denise's name is Denise Cormier.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Kragen gives orders from there. Elliot and Olivia show Jessica the records of her husband being arrested in Canada for fraud. They show her pictures of Denise and explain that the two of them are in cahoots. They share an apartment together in the village, and their fingerprints are all over it. Jessica cries after her first husband died. Mr. Todd had asked her to dinner. He had said all the right things to her. Olivia says if she helps them, he will pay for this. She doesn't want to because he confessed to her and she forgave him. Elliot tries to convince her that this is about stealing her money. And then she says she can't testify against him because she is his wife. Um, which means essentially that the two of them protected themselves by marrying their victims. The squad and Alex debate the case in her office. Alex says there's never been a situation like this. Then they find out that there were when that Denise and Todd were actually married and they used the wrong names on their marriage license. Uh, whoop. And Alex tells them to bring in Todd and Denise. Elliot and Olivia interrogate both of them and tell them that their marriages are void. Um, Olivia arrests or starts to arrest Todd, but apparently his legal name change is Edwin Todd, and Denise legally changed her names too, making it not fake.
Yeah, she changed her
Uh,
name to Denise Carlson.
yeah. Um, So Todd waited on the checks to clear and then took cash withdrawals so that the detectives wouldn't be able to trace their money. They can't find Denise's bank accounts. Finn finds a hotel charge for half a year ago for Mr. Todd. They were staying in a honeymoon suite, Mr. Todd and Denise. And this is how detectives find out that they have a Mexican marriage license. Um, and at this point, they wheel in Jessica in her wheelchair, and she says, "Sit down, you bastard," to her husband. And I love her.
Yeah.
And then she says, "The only place you're going is to hell." And then we dick wolf.
My favorite line of the scene where they find out about the honeymoon suite is when Olivia's reading the statement in Spanish and says Luna de Miel, and then she goes, son of a bitch. Luna de Miel means honeymoon.
Yes. Olivia Benson out here speaking all the languages all the time.
Yes.
I love her. And then we dick wolf.
Yes.
Um, okay, so while Koli is shuffling their cards, this is just a quick reminder to join us on social media. We are on Instagram at SVU Coven. We check it the most and post more frequently there. So if you're looking for updates from us, that's the place to find us. We also have a free to join Discord server, and I would love it if you guys could join because we could start having some coven events and things like that. You can find that in the link in our Instagram bio. If you're not on Instagram, you can always email us at svucoven@gmail.com. Koli does check the email, so someone will be reading and responding to you. If you want to be on the show, sponsor the show, run an ad with us, or just want to, chat with us and send us a nice note, email is the best place to do that. So that's svucoven@gmail.com. Uh, Lastly, we have merch through Fourth Wall. The proceeds go to Fourth Wall as well as to us, and we put it back into the show. If you buy any of our merch and feel so inclined, please send us pictures of it either to our email or tag us on Instagram. We would be over the moon to see you guys with it. Also, register to vote. We got a big
Yes.
election coming in November if you are located in the United States.
Yes. So the card I pulled today was Temperance, and of course, because my
Ooh.
background is blurred, it's blurring the card.
As per usual.
But it's Temperance.
I don't know. Okay.
Um, and that means, hold on. Balance, moderation, patience, and purpose.
Hmm.
So I take this card to mean like everything in life is going to balance out, that there's gonna you're gonna find your purpose. Um, everything in moderation, and you have to be patient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm definitely learning everything in moderation because um my nutritionist wants me to like keep a log of the foods that bother me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finding that everything that I'm writing down, I'm writing, onions too much, garlic too much.
Mm.
So I can't have too much of these things. Tomatoes too much. I can't have too much of these because they bother me,
Right.
but everything in moderation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, especially with food, I feel like.
Yes,
Yeah. All right. Wow. That's our show.
that's our show. Oh, wait. This is your second episodic reminder to rate, review, subscribe, like, and comment. They're all important for the algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, rate, review, subscribe is important for audio only platforms. Subscribing, liking, and commenting is important for YouTube. Again, they all help us boost in the algorithm. Any engagement helps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we have a coffee. And if you want, you can go on there and donate any amount of money you want. It's completely up to you. Not mandatory at all. And we take all that money and put it back into the show.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the energy exchange.
All right. Well, that's our show.
That's our show.
All right. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, love you too.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.